This is Dr. T.V. Rao, Professor and Principal, DBS Institute of Technology, Kabali. So today I am explaining dimension analysis in heat transfer. First of all, we discuss what is the dimension analysis, what is the use of this dimension analysis in heat transfer. Basically, dimension analysis is a technique to simplify the complex heat transfer problems, and using this dimension analysis without any experimentation we can find out the relationship between the various parameters. So that's why with the help of dimension analysis, very complex heat transfer problems, whether it is a conduction problem or a convection problem or radiation problems, are simplified into very simple numerical equations. That too, these numerical equations will formulate in terms of non-dimensional numbers. So in dimension analysis, there are two methods we are using to simplify to solve the heat transfer problems. That is, the first one is Rayleigh's method, another one is Buckingham Pi theorem. So generally, the Rayleigh's method is little bit typical, and it is very laborious method to solve the heat transfer problems. That's why generally we use Buckingham Pi theorem to simplify heat transfer problems where there are more number of variables. Suppose when we are using Buckingham Pi theorem to solve the heat transfer problem, the particular problem consists of there is n number of variables, and in these variables, as for fundamental dimensions, we are using m fundamental dimensions. Generally fundamental dimensions consist of, there are MLT system. MLT means mass, length and time. So in this system, MLT system, there are number of fundamental dimensions are 3. That means M is 3. Okay. So in our problem, already we discussed that there are n number of variables. We are using m fundamental dimensions. So this problem can be simplified as n minus m dimensionless numbers. So we simplified the problem as n minus m dimensionless numbers, and each dimensionless number we can call it as a pi term. So pi term means it is a non-dimensional number. So already we have discussed there are so many non-dimensional numbers. Reynolds number is a non-dimensional number, Prandtl number is a non-dimensional number, Nusselt number is a non-dimensional number, Biot number is a non-dimensional. Like this, there are so many non-dimensional numbers are there. In terms of non-dimensional numbers, we will find the solution. So coming to Buckingham Pi theorem, so there is a problem. There are n number of variables. So these are x1, x2, x3 up to xn. These are all variables in a particular physical problem. So since there are n variables, in this n variables, some variables are dependent variables, some variables are independent variables. First of all, we should find out what is dependent variable and what is independent variable. So in this problem, we take x1 as a dependent variable, and remaining all the variables are independent variables. We can write x1 is a function of x2, x3 up to xn. So like this, we can simplify the problem initially, or this same function we can write as f of x1, x2, x3 up to xn equal to 0. like this also we can write this equation. So if you write this equation like this equation is called as a dimensional homogeneous equation. And for this problem, as for Buckingham pi theorem, as already discussed, there are n number of variables. N means number of variables, and we are using a fundamental system MLT. That means there are three dimensions. That means m equal to 3. So this problem we can simplify it as n minus m dimensionless numbers are n minus m pi terms. Okay, that means so pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 up to pi n minus m. Okay, so suppose n is 6, number of variables are 6, m equal to 3. So there will be only 3 terms, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. So like this we can simplify this problem with the help of Buckingham pi theorem. And again, if you take what is by pi term is dimensionless numbers. This dimensionless number also there will be some variables. How many variables are there means there are m plus 1 variables will be there. In pi term there are m plus 1 variables will be there. Among these m plus 1 variables, m variables are repeated variables. M variables are repeated variables. Okay. Suppose, so each pi term, what will be there means, each pi term there will be some repeated variables and some non-repeated variables. Okay. So pi 1 we can write it as, so here we identified x2, x3 and x4 are the repeating variables. That means that in every pi term, every non-dimensional number, this x2, x3, x4 will be repeated. Okay. So pi 1 we can write it as x2 to the power of a1, x3 to the power of b1 and x4 to the power of c1 into x1. Similarly, pi 2 we can write it as x2 to the power of a2, x3 to the power of b2, x4 to the power of c2 into x5. Okay. So that means, so we have to find out a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2. That is one problem. And we should know that how to select these repeating variables. How to select these repeating variables. So for that there is a method is there for selection of repeating variables. So how to select repeating variables means, so the first rule is, as far as possible, the dependent variable should not be selected as repeating variable. Dependent variable should not be selected as repeating variable. Dependent variable means, suppose in this heat transfer problem, convect heat transfer coefficient H always a dependent variable. So that means H should not be selected as repeating variable. So like this we have to select it. And second rule is, the repeating variable should be chosen in such a way that the variable contains geometric property. That means one variable contains geometric property, second variable contains flow property, third variable contains fluid property. Like this we have to select repeating variables. So geometric property means either length, diameter and height. These dimensions we can take as a it comes under geometric property. So geometric property variable we can take it as one repeating variable. So another repeating variable should consist of flow property, either velocity or acceleration. Another repeating variable should consist of a fluid property, either dynamic viscosity, density or specific viscosity. Like this we have to select repeating variables. So generally these three properties we can choose as a repeating variable properties. So like this in Buckingham Pi theorem, when you are solving the problem, so there are n variables in the problem. In these variables, we have to identify that what is dependent variable and what is independent variable. That is first stage. Second, we have to select fundamental system of dimensions m. Generally, in most of the cases, m will be 3. So we know n and m. There are n minus m 5 terms will be there, and the pi terms already what we have discussed. Like this, we have to find out the pi terms. Okay. Now, so this Buckingham Pi theorem will discuss by one problem. So in this problem, the resistance are experienced by a partially submerged body depends upon the velocity v, length of the body L, viscosity of the fluid mu, density of the fluid rho, and gravitational acceleration g. Establish a suitable relation involving non-dimensional groups. So in this problem, he is telling that resistance of the body, it depends upon there are some parameters like velocity, length, viscosity, density, gravity, acceleration. So that means that resistance is a dependent variable and remaining all other parameters are independent variables. We'll see how to solve this problem. So this problem consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variables. So function of R V L mu rho G equal to 0. Like this we can write it as a functional form. That means n equal to 6. N equal to 6. And so first of all, for all the parameters, we should write a fundamental system. R means m L t to the power of minus 2. Resistance is a force, something. L means length, rho means density, m L to the power of minus 3. Velocity means L t to the power of minus 1. Dynamic viscosity m L to the power of minus 1 t to the power of minus 1. G L t to the power of minus 2. So these fundamental dimensions you can remember, or it will be available in the heat transfer data book. So these fundamental dimensions you can take from the heat transfer data. So from this problem, n equal to 6, since we are using MLT system, m equal to 3. So n minus m equal to 3. That means 3. So in this problem, we can derive 3 pi terms, 3 non-dimensional terms. So this 3 pi terms we can write it as a pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. That means function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 equal to 0. So how to find out pi 1, pi 2, pi 3? Okay. So pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. So in these 6 variables, first of all, we should find out dependent variable and independent variable. Resistance is a dependent variable, or we should not select as repeating variable. So here pi 1, each pi term there are m plus 1 number of variables. M plus 1 means each pi term there are 4 variables will be there. Among the 4 variables, 3 variables are repeating variables. M number of variables are repeating variables. So first we should select what are the repeating variables. So repeating variables means, so one variable should consist of geometry. Geometry means here geometry means length represents geometry, velocity represents flow property, and density represents fluid property. So length, density and velocity we can take it as repeating variables. That's why in all the pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 terms, length, velocity and density will be there. The fourth term will be, in one pi term we take resistance as a non-repeating variable. Second pi term we take as a mu, and third pi term we can take it as a g. So like this we can write pi 1 equal to L to the power of a1, v to the power of b1, rho to the power of c1 into r. Pi 2 equal to L to the power of a2, v to the power of b2 and rho to the power of c2 into mu. And pi 3 equal to L to the power of a3, v to the power of b3, rho to the power of c3 into g. So to simplify this again, these pi terms, we should find out what is a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. Okay. So first we have to find out all these powers. So first we take one pi term, and how to solve this powers we'll see. First pi 1 we take pi 1 equal to L to the power of a1, b to the power of b1, rho to the power of c1 into r. What are the dimensions of pi 1? Pi 1 is a non-dimensional number. That means these dimensions are m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0 and t to the power of 0. And L means L to the power of a1, v means velocity dimensions L to the power of minus 1 to the power of b1. Similarly, density dimensions m L to the power of minus 3, c1, m, and resistance m L to the power of minus 2. Like this we should write, and all the powers if you equate. So if you take there are left side m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, t to the power of 0. Right side for L there will be a power, m there will be a power, and t there will be a power. If we equate the powers, we will get three equations. If we solve these three equations, we will get what is a1, what is b1 and what is c1. If we substitute in the pi 1 equal to L to the power of a1, v to the power of b1 and rho to the power of c1 into r. So if we substitute L to the power of minus 2, v to the power of minus 2, rho to the power of minus 1 into r, that means r divided by rho v square L square. So this is a pi 1. Similarly, the remaining two terms also, if you simplify, we will get pi 2 equal to mu by rho v L, pi 3 equal to Lg by v square. So there are three pi terms. The function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 equal to 0, or pi 1 is a function of pi 2 and pi 3. Like this we can simplify this complex heat transfer or fluid flow problems in terms of non-dimensional numbers. So we'll see one more problem. So forced convection problem. In forced convection, generally we have to find out heat transfer, or we have to find out heat transfer coefficient. So heat transfer coefficient, if you see this table, heat transfer coefficient is dependent upon so many variables: diameter, tube diameter, fluid velocity, fluid density, fluid velocity, fluid viscosity, specific heat, thermal conductivity, okay, and heat transfer coefficient. So it depends upon all the variables. So if you see how many variables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there are 7 number of variables. That means in this problem there are 7 variables. That means n equal to 7. Among these 7, dependent variable is heat transfer coefficient. We have to find out heat transfer coefficient. What is the heat transfer coefficient is a function of what are the other variables, that we have to find out. So in this, n equal to 7, and for all these seven variables, if you take the dimensions, okay, so here it is available. Here not only MLT system, here there will be temperature also there. Specific heat, thermal conductivity, heat transfer coefficient, it involves temperatures. Not only mass, length, time, there will be temperature. There will be m equal to 4. Here, mass, length, time, and temperature. That means m equal to 4. Okay. So, n equal to 7 and m equal to 4, n minus m equal to 3. That means here we find the 3 pi terms, pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. Okay. So we have to find out what is pi 1, pi 2, pi 3. Again, here we have to find out repeating variables. So pi 1 consists of m plus 1 variables. M plus 1 means 5 variables. You can see pi 1 equal to 5 variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And among 5 variables, m variables are repeating variables. M means 4. 4 variables are repeating. Every pi terms, these 4 variables, diameter, density, dynamic viscosity, and K. Every pi term, these 4 variables will be there. Right? And how to select this repeating variable? So one repeating variable consists of geometry. That means diameter we take as a geometry. One variable it consists of fluid property. We take density. Other variable we take dynamic viscosity. And when variable, so since the temperature also is there, one variable which consists of some temperature, that is we take thermal conductivity. Like this we have taken 4 repeating variables, and remaining variables we have mentioned as a in every pi term as a non-repeating variable. First pi term there will be fluid velocity, second pi term Cp, and third pi term H. So function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 equal to 0. So first we'll solve one by one. First we'll take first pi term. In first pi term, the dimensions of the pi term means it is a non-dimensional number. So there are no dimensions. It means that m to the power of 0, L to the power of 0, and t to the power of 0 equal to L to, so other dimensions, L to the power of a, and density m by L cube to the power of b, and dynamic viscosity m by Lt to the power of c, like this. And if you take the powers, if you equate the powers, right side, left side, all the powers are 0, right side there will be some powers. We'll get some 4 equations. If we solve the 4 equations, we can find out what is A, B, C, D. So from this we can simulate pi 1 equal to rho u d by mu. So this rho u d by mu is a non-dimensional number. It represents Reynolds number. Similarly, if we do for other pi terms, second pi term we will get as a mu Cp by K. Mu Cp by K is nothing but a Prandtl number. Similarly, if we solve the third pi term, pi 3 equal to Hd by K, where Hd by K equal to Nusselt number. So this pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 you can write as a function of pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 equal to 0, or pi 1 equal to a function of pi 2 and pi 3. So by that way you can write it as Nusselt number is a function of Reynolds number and Prandtl number. Okay, so like this we can solve some complex heat transfer problems without any experimentation. We can find out the relation between various non-dimensional numbers. Okay, so like this, the non-dimensional numbers, so dimensional analysis plays a very vital role to solve convective heat transfer problems.